Not so long ago, I've made a video about the vision of the future, which might can happen, and I want to talk more about it because we are truly going towards a beautiful future, but not many people can see it. Like, many people are still in fear, many people are still in worry. What will happen? Where are we going? What we will do? And we can all feel it, like collectively. When there is a fear in the collective consciousness, everybody can feel it. But the question here is, are you willing to pay attention to the fear, to the worry, to the anger and danger and whatever there is? Or are you willing to raise your awareness and truly place your attention onto the things that matter to you? Are you willing to place your attention onto a brighter vision of the future? Because by the quantum law, wherever we place our attention, that's what is growing. So if you will place your attention onto something positive that you can see in the future, that's what will start growing. And because we are moving towards the 5D awareness, 5th dimension consciousness, what is truly happening when we are saying the 5th dimension consciousness? Actually, we are becoming more aware of the life's purpose. We are becoming more aware of who we truly are. Deep inside ourselves, behind the identity, behind our bodies, there's a soul. And behind the soul is an infinite consciousness. So consciousness is the source of life, the source of energy. And the extension of that consciousness is a soul. The extension of the soul is a physical body. So we are who we are right now. But this physical body is not just a body. It has like a mental state, emotional state, and usually a mental state is made out of identity, which we've gained through our life's experiences. And this identity is made out of everything we know, all the stories that we are telling to ourselves, all the memories that we hold deep inside our emotions, all the things that we saw in our life, and all the people we know, all the places we know, all the things we have. Our identity is made out of all those informations. That's why it's so hard to change the identity. It's not just your name, it's the whole story behind your name. And it truly can be hard to change the identity, but what is known from the epigenetics is that when we change our identity, when we change our story about ourselves, about how we think that the life works, our body can change. Cells can start expressing themselves differently. Genes can upregulate and we can heal our bodies. So this is truly powerful, and because science is researching that, ancient traditions knew that for a long time before. And what is truly happening right now, all that wisdom, all those informations are coming into public. Now you don't need to go anymore into school to learn something. You can read books. You can find everything on the internet. So what is happening when all that informations are accessible to people, to regular people, to anyone? People can learn things. People can read about those informations. So we are not so lost anymore. And when people become aware of themselves, when people become aware of their true power, we get our power back. And we are becoming much harder to be controlled. So who can control you if you know that you have all the power? So that's what we are talking about here. It's all about your awareness. It's all about where you are placing your attention. It's all about, are you truly willing to create those kind of changes that you will grow in life, that you will educate yourself, that you will truly be inspired by life, that you will every single day take time to reconnect back with your soul, to reconnect back with the universe because it wants to see you happy. So when we understand that the universe wants to see us happy, then we will always do the things which will inspire us. And another quantum law here, when you are happy, when you are inspired, when you're excited, the universe will bring you more of the things which bring you happiness and excitement and gratitude. So for a moment, if we just create a vision of the future, of something that we would like to experience, and if this vision is so precise, so in details, we will experience it with our whole body, with emotions. We will experience this joy, this blissfulness, the state of gratitude. As soon as we experience those emotions, all the things that we are visualizing will just come to us. So that's the power of manifestation, and we all have access to it. But most people get lost when they come back from that vision and they don't see any changes around them. The changes are not there yet, but we need to have a faith. And what is faith? I told you before. Faith is to know that it will happen even if you don't have a physical proof. And when we have a stronger faith than fear, than worry, than disbelief that it will happen, then we are walking towards it. We will start thinking differently. We will start feeling differently. We will start acting differently. We will start reacting differently. So our whole state of being will change, which means that our identity will change. We will become part of that vision and not the memories of the past. And because more people are becoming aware of that power, because more people are becoming aware of those kind of informations, knowledge, we could call it wisdom, the ancient wisdom, which was kinda secret because nobody knew it, and people thought that it's kinda scary thing. It is scary if you know that all the fears, all your negative thoughts are manifesting. It is kinda scary if we think that way. But if we think that if I would design a better thoughts, if I would design more positive thoughts, if I would change a perception of life, if I would change my own story, my personal story about how I look on myself, how I see myself, then my life would change on a better. And it's really powerful because the story that I shared with you before, the vision of the future, where people were unified, the communities, which their religion was love, and they were able to heal themselves through emotional healing, electromagnetic healing. And people were truly connected. Soldiers became new savers. And all those things were truly powerful, but there's more to that story. When there comes to raising kids, the school is still working on that old school concept right now. But what is truly important to understand is our emotional intelligence and awareness of what our body is telling to us through emotions. Emotions are the language of the body. So when we truly become aware that our emotions are actually telling to us when it's the time to create changes, when it's the time to relax, when it's the time to meditate, when it's the time to go outside and enjoy the nature, when it's the time to create meetings, when it's the time to pay bills, or whatever, your body is always telling to you. But most of the times we create a plan, we create a goal, and then we rush into it and we force ourselves to do it. And that's when all the things go wrong and we become stressed, we become like in worry. Why all those things are happening to me? Always the same things, the same problems are repeating to me. I'm a victim. Oh, what I will do? And we are always acting the same way because we don't have our emotional intelligence. Actually, we have it, but we are not aware of it. So when we are not aware of it, it's the same as we would not have it. But we have it inside our bodies. That's the natural intelligence. So when we learn to listen our emotions, when we learn to listen and follow the voice of the nature of our bodies, we can always connect back to that force, back to that flow, and life becomes easy and we become happy, healthy, grateful, joyful. And that's the future. And I believe that the future is going into that direction. So what happens when one person starts thinking that way? For example, I will read a truly powerful book. Hey, here it is, powerful book. I'm reading from my hands. And I started reading this powerful book. And those informations inspire me. Those informations are so powerful that I can feel it with my whole emotions. My whole body is kind of inspired by those informations. It inspired me so profoundly that I started acting on this inspiration. I started putting those informations into my actions. I started acting differently. I started acting based by those informations. So every action creates a reaction. We all know that. So when I started receiving all the things back to me, whatever I was sending with all that inspiration, I found out that my life is truly changing for a better. I'm manifesting greater things in my life. What is the next thing? As soon as I will meet somebody who will be open for those informations, I will share it with that person. And that person will be, oh, give me that book, I want to learn it as well. And sooner or later, many people start learning those informations, applying those informations, creating the results. And suddenly, the one mind, like for example, my mind becomes more empowered with new informations, and that mind inspired another mind, and another mind, and another mind. And suddenly, we created a whole new cloud of a new, more profound mind. And when more and more people start doing things like that, we are like creating and changing the collective consciousness. Right now we can feel, like I said before, there's a lot of fear, a lot of worry, which is kind of natural. Like all the news, all the media is sharing just that because people are interested in it. But what is happening when we become truly interested in our own power, then we will look just for the informations which can help us on that. When people are stressed and angry and negative, of course they want to read something which will support their emotional state. It is totally natural. When you're happy, what you want to do more of what brings you happiness. If that's meditation, you want to meditate more. If that's communication with friends, you want to communicate more. So whatever brings you certain emotions, you want to do it more. And many times we can get or become addicted to our emotional state. And that's again the result because we are not aware of that emotional intelligence. Sometimes it can happen, like people do something physically and they're happy because of it, and they want to do more of it because they want to call back this powerful happiness, emotions of joy. And because like more we are doing something, less we are feeling it emotionally, people become addicted to it because they think when I'm doing it I'm happy. But it's not happiness, it's addiction. But in the new world, in the future, what is happening in the future? People are putting on the first place self-love. What is self-love? Self-love is understanding of your emotional state. It is taking care that your physical, spiritual, mental, astral body is on the highest vibration. That is self-love. When it is not on the highest vibration, you understand what it needs so you can get back to the highest vibration. That is self-love. Self-love is understanding yourself. In that vision of the future, people understand that. And if we want to get there, we need to understand it. We need to learn to understand it. So if you truly want to see that vision that I was sharing with you in that video, you need to learn, you need to educate yourself about that. And many of you, I can see you guys, are doing a great job. Truly. And I'm so proud of you. So we are going into that direction. And as I was explaining before about the collective consciousness, when more of us are adding this new informations, The collective consciousness is affected by that. And because we are all human beings, everything is a part of that collective consciousness, what can happen? Even a person which was not into that knowledge, which was not at all into this kind of informations, was just hit by an inspiration and went into a store and just randomly or spontaneously bought a book, something about spirituality maybe, and that person was inspired by all of us, because we are adding to collective consciousness those kind of informations. So this is really powerful, and when it comes to that understanding, it comes to power. We become more powerful. We become like less controlled by all the media, all the fear, all the negative news, and we get all the power back. Because our true power is that we have control over our thoughts, over our mind, over our emotional state. We have the true control over how we think and how we feel. And we can always change if we don't like how we are thinking. We can change our thoughts. But for somebody who is stressed, who is afraid, it can be really hard to do so. The first thing is, as I said before, self-love. Self-love is taking care, like I said before, that you will get back to the higher frequency. So how we can do it? Every time when we are stressed, we are just looking around us what is causing it. And whatever we see, it inspires more stress. It creates more stress. When there's a stress, there's fear. When there's fear, there's also anger. And it's all connected. So whatever is happening, we need to take our attention back into ourselves. And meditation is such a powerful tool. Many times I'm promoting meditation. I'm promoting nature. Go out in the nature. Because what I found out in nature is that doesn't matter how bad I feel, doesn't matter how low my state of being is, every time when I get into the forest, into the woods, our mystical forest, I sit onto the ground and I just become one with all the trees, with all the nature. And I stop thinking. I can't think when I'm in the forest. And it's truly powerful for me because, like, there's not something scientific, it's even not something mystical about it. It's just the nature. It's not like, I don't know, you don't need to know much to experience that. All you need is just go outside, sit with the trees, become one, and just look at them, how big they are, how beautiful they are. How beautiful they are. And you will see that the nature is a great healer, but also a great teacher. So I believe that we are going into that future. And there was some questions when it will happen. It's like truly not possible to say when it will happen because it all depends of our actions right now. Like we could say, as in quantum physics, scientists are explaining the reality. All we have is this moment right now, and the future and the past are just the potentials. So when we think about the future, we can think about potentials, and the potential which is more supported by our thoughts and emotions, that's what will happen. That's what will come as the present state in the future. So if we truly want to experience that vision of the future, better start visualizing it, start acting upon it, start working as it already happened. You know, become more loving person, open your heart more often, open your heart, share more love because you have infinite capacity of it. Make sure that your jar will always be filled with love and share it with others. Share that compassion with others. And create as much as you can. Be creative. Like I said in that video, artists became new leaders. scientists and artists were working together. They were cooperating, because when an art and science come together, it's like the left and the right part of the brain comes together and we start working as whole. And in art, through imagination, we can access to higher dimensions, and we can, like, even if we don't understand what we are creating, those creations are always teaching us more of who we truly are. And that's the power of art. And I truly believe into art because it kind of saved my life since I started creating, since I started painting. Everything in my life started changing, and I kind of started feeling more connected with my soul, with my true self, and I just got a huge urge to share this with others, to share that art, to share those messages and all the stories like we can learn through the art. It's really powerful. So start creating, start expressing love, start like designing that beautiful future of unity, of being one, being whole with everything, not just humanity, the nature, the animals, the universe, the cosmos, everything, because everything is a part of one, and one is everything. So that's it, my friends. I'm sending you love, I'm sending you blessings, I'm sending you power. Get your power back, my friends, and see you soon. One love. Namaste.